Machine Games has decided to put a little teaser out there into the ether that, you know what, hey man, we're not quite done with the Wolfenstein series yet, okay? We still have a couple more tricks to pull out of our bag, but realistically, like, it's been a while, okay? Yeah, the last proper Wolfenstein game, okay, it's been over a half decade since we punched a Nazi in Wolfenstein's Youngblood, or 2017's The New Colossus came around. Oh my god, I really love, if you haven't gotten around to play the first of the new Wolfenstein games, you are actually missing out on some genius that's out there. But Machine Games, I mean, your most recent outing was Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and what was the last thing we heard about them? Oh right, yeah, you don't really care about those fascists at all, and you want to get around to another punching Nazis game. Yeah, I think that's going to work out spectacularly for you. So, yeah, this could be a tease for Wolfenstein 3 being announced at the Game Awards at the end of the year. But honestly, at this point in time, after the shit you pulled this past week, you can go fuck yourself. For as much as I love that first Wolfenstein game, I can just go ahead and keep that off to the side, because all of the people that made that game great, I could pretty much guarantee you aren't going to be attached to this game. So you might as well keep this a game. You might as well keep this franchise on ice. But another franchise that went through a similar type of degradation with its most recent outing didn't have to walk that path. We're talking Saints Row, okay? And this is a very interesting story that broke not that long ago. I find it to be, well, a little bit upsetting, because if anybody was playing games back during the early Xbox 360 days, you probably are very familiar with the glut of games that were hitting the market that were GTA clones, okay? After that trilogy of tremendous games that were released on the PS2, GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, every AAA developer was going out there trying to find their own GTA clone, their own GTA killer, and one of those that was brought to the forefront was Saints Row. Now, the first one was a little bit too close and really was a bargain basement dollar store GTA 3 knockoff, but it had its own likable aspects that, yeah, it's a sequel, and it performed well enough to afford itself a sequel, and then it started to develop in its own way. And then by the time, Saints Row 3 came around, Saints Row the Third came along, it had very much evolved into its own style, and things were going great. Now, Saints Row 4 kind of went a little bit off the rails and way too goofy, but apparently the original plan for Saints Row 5, yes, it would have been Saints Row 5, not that bastardized reboot we got that effectively killed the franchise from a couple of years ago. I think Epic Game Store was given away for free over Christmas last year. It might have been the Christmas game that came out, but nobody talks fondly about that game, and I do not hear it recommended at all by anybody. I guess it missed out on that full court press. The games like Dragon Age the Veilguard, Assassin's Creed Shadows, they all received, and nobody came to the defense of the new Saints Row. But the story behind that now is starting to be told. A Saints Row developer says the reboot disaster caused by poor management and a lack of communication, everything was half cooked, which is okay. That's interesting. YouTuber Mr. Saints Godzilla 21 has revealed a plethora of information on the troubled development of 2022 Saints Row. That's how long ago it came out, huh? Intended to be far different from the final DEI-approved flop. Yeah, its story was around, getting student loan forgiveness. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah, that killed Volition Games. Oh, wow, yeah. There was a plethora of cut features and mechanics that developers wanted to implement, if not for technical issues and executive meddling. Interesting. A bunch of, hello, my fellow gamers, what if we do a student loan forgiveness plotline? What? The fuck are you talking about? No, do that. I hear that's popular with the kids and the Bernie Sanders supporters. But yes, Saints Row mega fan Mr. Saints Godzilla 21 has managed to visit Volition offices in the past, interviewing key staff. In one visit in 2019 rather, he ended up being one of the first to learn that they were working on what would eventually become the 2022 game. In a recent video, now that his NDA has expired, okay, the YouTuber revealed that he got to see a vertical slice at that time, a playable mock-up of a small part of the game intended to present the overall experience to publishers and investors. The community manager, the late Mike Watson, also revealed outlines for every mission in the game, including the entire story. Along with his own account, Mr. Saints Godzilla 21 interviewed former Volition developers years later in an effort to learn how development went. I only hope this video will somewhat redeem the developers who actually wanted to make a good game, and you'll see how a studio could have could have had the best of intentions, just to have them squandered by incompetent people in power. Years after the failure of Agents of Mayhem led to questions about Saints Row series' future, leading Mr. MSG21, that's what I'm going to call him moving forward, to request whether or not he could Volition like he had done before. Okay, request comment from maybe. Once there, the YouTuber was surprised to learn the existence of Saints Row Cinco, the original title for the game. All right. The YouTuber notes, right from the off the main menu and environmental scene, that he was surprised to see how good the graphics looked. Executive producer Jim Boone has then explained what the game is going to be. The final game is partly despised for moving away from the series' later wackiness. Even earlier on, Boone said that the clean slate would have no more wacky or over-the-top elements like demons or aliens. Yeah, there may have been a response from the divisive reception to Saints Row 4, and yes, that spin-off DLC, Gat Out of Hell. Holy shit, that was fucking bonkers. Go and watch old gameplay from Let's Players of years gone by. That was very interesting. Boone explained gangs were going to be the players' main rivals once again, while they build their empire from the ground up, but not to alienate older fans. He explained the established a 2080 rule, which stipulated 80% of the game would have the tone akin to Saints Row 2, which was again, like, if you want to go back and play an old game that probably needs a couple of quality of life improvements, maybe if you can get a PC port of the game, you might be able to get some mods in order to fix that stuff up. But yeah, Saints Row 2, that was quite good. Okay, and where the remaining 20% would draw inspiration from Saints Row the Third, because yeah, there's some stuff that you can grab from there. Okay, so a serious story with absurd moments that didn't detract from it. Santa Alesso was still inspired by Las Vegas and the cities with the keep a weird motto like Austin and Portland. This would lead to unusual sights, and detail fans felt the city was lacking in the third compared to prior games. It featured Agents of Mayhem's engine, 80% rebuilt for 2 years to feature mechanics fans would want, customization, co-ops, and activities. Boone said that rather than the art, narrative, and development teams working apart, then merging them together for the vertical slice, the whole team worked together holistically. MSG21 had concerns at the time, feeling the developers had effectively started working on the full game already. A former anonymous developer later told him it was nobody wanted to do it. Everything was half-cooked, but upstairs wanted an idea of game flow. Art wanted to nail down a creative direction. Narrative wanted to nail down a tone. Design just wanted to work. Audio, VFX, and UI were just trying to keep it up. It was too early. MSG21 explains how associate producer Kate Nelson played the Slice's mission, showing off new and returning mechanics. The boss, the main character, didn't resemble the one used in the later marketing, even after being customized. The mission plays out similarly to the Rescue Kevin mission in the final game, except the player rescues original Saints Row character Pierce. Okay, far cry from the harsh backlash the game's PR team gave fans who wanted the old Saints back. Yeah. It's almost like the developers knew what the fans wanted, but the executives were trying to make a game for the modern audience. The subsequent bar brawl revealed combat was a combination of 2 and 3, wild swinging, but the third hit being a takedown. So yeah, just skipping ahead a little bit, the mission ends, the boss driving their car off a ramp, flying to the balloon with the wingsuit, yes, with Boone explaining it was for those who like the superpower of Saints Row 4. So yeah, you have more exploratory and movement aspects that, yeah, kind of like in your open world games. After a QTE fight with the idle members, a vertical slice cuts after the rescue of Pierce, where he is voiced by Arifest Kitchen once again. Okay, so got the old voice actor back. Interesting. Player would be whisked into Saints HQ. Plastic surgery business that allowed players to change their appearance. Yeah, purely molded into the HQ. So okay, so a cold open mission into just customizing your character and moving forward. There's a lot of other stuff that I'm just glossing over because a lot of it is just, it's kind of minutia about shit that was cut out, about the customization aspect of things, how it was supposed to be a much more serious and earnest approach to the previous installments in the series gone by, and less of that cringe shit that we got in 2022. But after the 40-minute presentation, yeah, if you want to go through all of that minutia, feel free to link through. I've got the article here linked in the comments below. Please do that, or even just go check out Mr. Saint Godzilla video himself. Felt the game looked amazing. appeasing, and it had seemed like they had really attempted to check off nearly every fan request from the last 8 years. Boone agreed and said that they attempted to appease all kinds of fans. Long story short, there was a bunch of stuff that ended up getting cut. A lot of stuff that ended up sounding really good when it was all said and done. But thanks to executive meddling and time constraints, it just simply ended up with that jumbled mess that ended up killing a franchise. Imagine that. A studio with modern sensibility killing off a great franchise that has a lot of great ideas, that has excellent potential for the means of appeasing a modern audience. Where have we seen that before? But with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.